Welcome back. Now, when rabbinical student Noam Katz returned to the United States after living with the Abayudaya Jewish community in Uganda, he rushed into the recording studio to blend Jewish music with the Abayudayan beat. Here's JLTV's Andrew Tarr.
What do you get when you mix African drums, electric guitars, ancient Hebrew prayers, and the golden vocal cords of a rabbinical student from upstate New York? The answer is the new album by Jewish musician Noam Katz. Katz has combined Jewish folk songs with some of the tribal rhythms he picked up while living in Uganda amongst the Abayudaya, a group of African Jews. We caught up with Noam Katz in the studio, where he and rock producer Michael Carey have been concocting their exciting new sound. Noam, thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. How's the record coming?
The record has been getting just amazing feedback. People are really enthused by the new melodies and the new rhythms that are associated with prayers that they've been reciting for years and years.
So you took prayers that spoke to you in some way and set them to music. This is your music.
This is my music. These are a lot of traditional prayers from Hebrew liturgy that many Jews say either the whole week through or specifically on Shabbat.
Right.
And I have kind of found ways to add my own distinctive voice by infusing new melodies, new rhythm, and what I'm really driven by is sounds from around the world.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And actually, I have a copy of the CD right here, A Drum in Hand. Tell me a little bit about the birth of this album.
Sure. Well, I feel that with drumming, with hand drums, with percussion, everybody can feel the satisfaction of laying their hands down on that drum head and making music. The idea is that anybody can pick up a djembe and they could just have a simple beat or sometimes a more intricate beat.
Yeah.
And so I wanted the album to have this feel not only of a prayer service but also of a drum circle. The actual title of the album, A Drum in Hand, comes from a line in the book of Exodus where the prophetess Miriam, Moses' sister, she lifts up Tof Biyada, a drum in her hand, in a celebration of praise and gratitude to God through drumming and dancing and singing.
You had some direct experience in Africa.
It had an incredible impact on both my music, but also my outlook of my sense of Jewish obligation around the world. I spent 3 months living and volunteering with this community called the Abayudaya. It's a community of about 600 Jews living in East Uganda.
What language do they speak over there?
The language that most of the Abayudaya speak is called Luganda.
Luganda?
Yeah.
Now, did you pick up any Luganda while you were there?
I got a few pieces. I can say, how are you, sir? Wosuzotia sebo. And you could say, bulunji.
Bulunji?
Yeah.
This is the first time I have ever spoken Luganda on television.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's amazing the number of American Jews who are maybe not even aware that there are Jews in Africa. So how did this trip come about? You was it something that just occurred to you? I need to go to Uganda, or how did it happen?
In 2001, when I lived in Boston, I befriended...
there are Jews in Boston, too. A lot of people don't realize that.
They're very exotic, and they have their own special accent as well. When I lived there, I was good friends with a family, and the father was a photojournalist who had spent some time doing work in Uganda, and one of the community leaders by the name of J.J. Keiki came as a guest to stay at their house for a few days in Boston before doing his first U.S. speaking tour. And they invited me over that night, and that night J.J., he told us the history of his people. And
so you heard this story at your friend's house in Boston and said, I gotta go.
I was mesmerized.
And then you got there, and I understand you really brought your music to the forefront with these people.
I'll say that they brought their music to me, and I felt immersed in that. This was on my previous album, Mirembe Salam Vishalom, and I echoed the same pronunciation of the Hebrew that the Abayudaya use, which is adding those extra vowel sounds.
Got it.
Amen, Amen, Am Yisrael Chai, Amen, Amen, Am Yisrael Chai, Oh, De Avinu Chai, Oh, De Avinu Chai.
That is awesome. And I can hear the African influence even just in the melody.
As you can hear, most of the songs, despite the oppression and persecution and the difficulties with poverty and malaria, so much of the music and the culture is upbeat.
You kind of assimilated some of the rhythms into your music too, and I guess that's how this album was born. And you kicked up the level of production by working with Michael here to something that really sounds big time. I mean, this is music that can excite everybody, not just Jews, not just Ugandans. There's something in here for everybody.
I did work with world-class musicians, Michael Carey, my producer, and M.B. Gordy, a masterful percussionist.
When we started talking sort of musical reference points and influences, we realized we really had a lot of stuff in common. The world music influences, deep appreciation for African music. You've got some songs that are very, very intimate. It's just an acoustic guitar and a voice, and other songs like, say, Matovu or Enkeloheno, they really get huge. They start off, with a djembe and a guitar, and by the time you reach the middle of the tune, they're just these almost Lion King sort of soundscapes. Noam's a very expressive musician.
Tell me a little bit more about your time in Uganda. I understand you put a show together that had some music and some dance. What was that all about?
I was asked to put together something with the youth specifically, which they were very proud because they performed it entirely in English. This kippah that I'm wearing, it's actually one of J.J. Keki's designs. He is also an artist, and he thought that this would be a way of having a distinctive piece of Jewish ritual clothing.
You brought another one of those. I would love to wear an authentic Ugandan kippah on this show.
It's right over there.
The other thing that would really help me to feel like I was a part of this whole scene is if I, frankly, were in your band.
Oh.
I have a little treat for you. I planned on auditioning for your band today. As everyone knows, you can always use more cowbell. Your album, there's a lot of great rhythms, a lot of great African drums, not a lot of cowbell on there. This is an African cowbell. And this is an American drumstick.
Okay.
So it'll give it that sort of Afro-American kind of sound. So
that's poetry.
Here we go.
Okay.
And actually, there's a thing that I just learned from Michael.
Yeah.
That you're supposed to do. What do you think?
I think that I'll really have to think long and hard about, whether we have an opening in the band.
Well, I hope you do, because the truth is it would be a lot of fun for me too. You gotta have more cowbell! And if nothing else, I'm gonna talk to Michael about maybe booking me as sort of a session player with some of the other artists who come in here.
Good luck with that. I really hope that works out for everyone.
Yeah. Again, Noam, thank you so much. It was
great
to meet you, great to sit down and to listen to this amazing album, A Drum in Hand.
Thanks.
And if you'd like to hear more music by Noam Katz, go to noamkatz.com, iTunes, or Jewish music website, oysongs.com. At Resonation Studios, I'm Andrew Tarr for The J Report.